Meta King Attorney, MKA, lawyer by your side. When did the legal profession begin? According to renowned philosophers such as Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, the emergence and development of humankind passed through 5 types of states: slave-owning state, feudal state, capitalist state, socialist state, communist state. So when did the legal profession arise in the course of human social development? Around 3,000 years BCE, beginning in the ancient Greek and Roman civilizations, approximately the feudal era, the figure of the lawyer began to appear. At that time, orators would plead in the cases of their friends because rulers required individuals to plead their own cases or to be represented by an ordinary citizen or a friend acting in their name without receiving fees. They were known as advocates, wore black gowns with an open pouch at the back into which people could place whatever they chose to give. In that period, they stood in an oppositional, counter-argumentative role vis-à-vis the authorities. Through the capitalist era, society recognized lawyers as a legitimate profession, and they were paid in accordance with their labor. The uniform evolved. Still a black gown, with the pouch at the back reduced and sewn shut, and a white wig. The lawyer's role was to protect the rights of individuals and organizations in capitalist society, serving as a counterweight and source of critique vis-à-vis the ruling class. In the socialist era, lawyers' attire became a white shirt, black suit, and gray tie. Though the uniform changed, their role remained to challenge the court in order to protect the lawful rights and interests of individuals and organizations. Thus, the legal profession has been a driving force advancing human society toward greater civility, humanity, and equality. What is a rule of law state? A socialist state is a rule of law state in which the state establishes laws to govern society and places itself under the law. All state organs must be organized and may operate only within the framework prescribed by law. Citizens comply with, implement, and exercise the law. Citizens' rights are recognized and protected by law. In a rule of law state, there are 3 branches: legislative, executive, and judicial, independent of one another, and the role of the courts is emphasized. The conditions for a rule of law state include a complete, coherent, appropriate, and timely legal system. This requires continuous legislative development and improvement. Law is the instrument for protecting citizens' rights. How to advance to the communist state? Communism is a socio-economic formation and political ideology advocating a stateless, classless, free, and equal society based on common ownership and collective control of the means of production. Karl Marx held that communism would be the final stage of history, achieved through a proletarian revolution. To advance toward a communist state, the first step is for people to understand the law so they can live lawfully and regard law as a way of life. The state earnestly wishes for all Vietnamese citizens to understand the law, to live and work in accordance with the law, so that the law may gently permeate the life of every citizen and the entire country may act in accordance with the law. However, at present there are so many statutes, circulars, and resolutions that citizens find them difficult to grasp. Even for lawyers who regularly study and apply the law, preparing legal dossiers can be challenging due to uncertainty about whether a given statute has been updated, let alone for business owners and investors. Therefore, there is an urgent need for a place that can consolidate the entire legal system and update it continuously, helping companies, investors, entrepreneurs, lawyers, and even foreign organizations seeking to understand Vietnamese law to quickly locate the relevant legal provisions when needed. This is why the Meta King Attorney app, MKA, created with law at its core, developed through advanced technology, and committed to openness and transparency, was launched to contribute to the state's progress toward communism. The origins of the Smart Super app Meta King Attorney, Smart Super app MKA, originating from J.D. Martin Do. Though a lawyer and international arbitrator who, in 2017, brought the former ICC Secretary General and the former ICC North Asia Director to Vietnam to participate in a seminar with PIAC, he himself faced countless difficulties in applying law to life and on several occasions became entangled in legal troubles and controversy. He witnessed farmers innocently joining activities such as protests against the regime without realizing they were violating the law. Because of misunderstandings of the law leading to violations, recent years have seen major cases involving businesses, citizens, and even numerous state officials being prosecuted. Arising from this pain and from many years of reflection while in the United States, the super app MKA was brought to life under the leadership of lawyer Do Huu Chien, J.D. Martin Do, international arbitrator, founder, chairman, and CEO of King Attorney Joint Stock Company. He hails from a poor farming family with a tradition of learning on the storied land of Kulao An Bình, Vĩnh Long, in a family of 4 children holding 7 university degrees, 1 master's and 1 doctorate, thanks to his father, a writer, poet, and revolutionary in the propaganda department of Vĩnh Long province before reunification, who, despite living in the countryside, was progressive in thought and set aside promising urban opportunities to return to the village to work as a hired hand, open a barbershop, and cut hair door to door to be close to and educate his 4 children. His father paid special attention to him as the firstborn son, often advising, "You must learn many letters to have the wisdom of the Jewish people, and do business with the credibility of the Chinese." Inspired by his father's thinking, he later had many opportunities to work with Jewish partners, and his future wife, Cindy Lee, CTQ, Cindy Tycoon Queen, a Vietnamese of Chinese descent from Saigon, Cho Lon, consistently supported him in pursuing his aspirations. After more than 5 years of preparation in the United States and 5 years of implementation from September 9, 2020 to September 9, 2025, the smart super app MKA took shape. As a nation has national law and a family has family rules, over more than 5 years of preparation in the United States and more than 5 years of execution, lawyer Do Huu Chien focused all tangible and intangible financial resources domestically and internationally, within over $25 million quietly sponsored by individuals from Cho Lon's Chinese community, especially Cindy Lee CTQ, and the Minyan Group, HHL, Novita Trust Fund, and the ATG Singapore Financial Gateway. To build the super app MKA by digitizing over 500,000 Vietnamese legal documents, according to MKA's MBTAG copyright formula, the MBTAG OS operating system, akin to Apple's iOS. This super app MKA is a one-tap legal document finder. Instead of citizens searching Google and within seconds receiving an overwhelming number of results, leaving them unsure which are current law, the MKA app, which we call the Smart Super App MKA for its elegant simplicity, has 5 buttons, like the 5 fingers of a hand, that have served the community free of charge for more than 5 years. Citizens can use voice or tap the search tool and within 1 second obtain the correct legal text promulgated by the state. Within the app, we integrate virtual assistants, comprising many lawyers who can offer citizens free guidance, and legal documents are arranged methodically into MBTAG compartments, making it easy to grasp the rules and avoid disadvantage. Notably, the Smart Super App MKA integrates the distilled intellectual assets of Israeli Silicon, Silicon Valley, Shenzhen Silicon, and the codes of magnates Rothschild, Rockefeller, Morgan through the international financial systems of Singapore, Hong Kong, Cho Lon, guided by United Nations standards and especially the thinking of United Nations Metaverse MBTAG International Tycoon Lawyer and United Nations Metaverse MBTAG International Tycoon Arbitrator as the core in building. M Leader. Smart Super App MKA uses stablecoin MKAC. M. General Law. Source code MKA-Meta. Estimated capitalization over $5 million using stablecoin MKAM with the message MKA is life. B. Sectoral Law. Source code MKA-Blockchain. Estimated capitalization over $5 million using stablecoin MKAB with the message MKA is asset. T. Parties. Source code MKA Tech. Estimated capitalization over $5 million using stablecoin MKAT with the message MKA by your side. A. Executive Branch. Source code MKA Academy. Estimated capitalization over $5 million using stablecoin MKAA with the message MKA is breath. G. Litigation. Source code MKA Fundgates. Estimated capitalization over $5 million US, using stablecoin MKAG with the message MKA authenticates. MKA aims for the Smart Super App MKA to spawn millions of smart mini apps in sectoral law and other fields, openly and transparently, powered by Technology 6.0, Web 3.0, AI, Big Data, Blockchain, NFT, DAO. Serving more than 25,000 lawyers, over 5,000 law collectives, and the broader community. Smart Super App MKA has been and is being comprehensively integrated with domestic and international partners, with a view to franchising across the 193 United Nations member states in 193 languages, on the reasoning that, for global giants such as NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alibaba, more than 90% of value lies in intellectual property, patents, and copyrights, with only 10% in physical assets. Accordingly, the Smart Super App MKA required over 60 months of preparation in the United States and over 60 months of implementation to completion. Thereafter, in just 0.6 months, leveraging advanced technology, the franchising of source code accelerated 100-fold to establish the following MBTAG platforms. M. Platform Meta Arbitration King, MAK. Consensus in Justice. Integrating international arbitrators across 193 UN member states, centered on Singapore and Hong Kong. B. Platform KA Uni. Packaging intellectual property, IP, for over 3,906 academician, PhD, associate professor, and especially packaging for 5,000 young talents and innovators to achieve full IP autonomy in our homeland. T. Platform KAMIMO. Exploiting IP to incrementally build silicon An Bình Islet enlightenment over more than 5,000 hectares and progressively develop 34 provinces/cities to avoid reliance on the IP of neighboring and international powers. A. Platform MBTAG. The training program, Codes to Unlock Trillion-Dollar Capital Flows, integrating 3,906 academician, PhD, associate professor, to co-deliver 3,906 distinct courses. G. Platform Novita. Transparent Investment Gateway. Integrated with international finance. MKA's message. Lawyers lead, tycoons follow. NKA/MAK lead. Novita follows. The MBTAG source code of MKA will be franchised domestically under MKA's MBTAG copyright formula as follows. M. Zone 1, Bach Van Phong. B. Zone 2, Thanh Nguyen. T. Zone 3, Saigon, Cholon. A. Zone 4, Mekong Delta. G. Zone 5, Van Don. And internationally under MKA's MBTAG copyright formula. M. Zone 1, Hong Kong/Singapore. B. Zone 2, London. T. Zone 3, Dubai. A. Zone 4, United States. G. Zone 5, Australia. MKA is a comprehensive advisory entity and has successfully replicated, cloned, the source code for the Novita social conglomerate. MKA, MAK, and Novita, with the mission to build 31 conglomerates for 5 strategic zones. 155 conglomerates in total, aim toward Novita Vietnam IPO on HOSE and Novita Singapore IPO on Euronext and NASDAQ from 30 April 2025 to cultivate 155 USD billionaires, Batch 1, young, ethical, talented, open, transparent. Aligned with the 17 UN criteria, under the immutable principle, over 78% of benefits for the people, by the people, of the people, advancing toward communism. All of this serves the unchanging purpose, together for the great motherland, completing the Smart Super App MKA to help every citizen better understand the law, so that the Smart Super App MKA may be a lawyer by your side, accompanying you anytime, anywhere, is the greatest wish of my life, confides lawyer Do Huu Chien, J.D. Martin Doe. His journey across more than 35 countries and 28 years of learning culminated in today's Smart Super App MKA and the KA ecosystem, reflected in 2 personal brand books authored under MKA's MBTAG copyright formula. Memoir, From Dream to Reality, King Attorney, the 5.0 Lawyer App, published by the People's Public Security Publishing House on 25 May 2021, and currently pending reprint, and Meta Arbitration King, the special syllabus for the training program Codes to Unlock Trillion-Dollar Capital Flows, all to contribute to the goal, Together for the Great Motherland.